preseason, that's how they feeling. Me personally, I feel like it's a slap in the face to the Cleveland Brown fans and to the Sanders family, because for the simple fact, Shedeur was not given the same opportunity as Dylan Gabriel. It was displayed in front of the world when y'all put out the third string line for him and let Dylan Gabriel run with the twos. I don't give a damn how you spin it, what you say. He should have been given the same opportunity if this was a true competition, and Shedeur truly had to earn everything he was given. Now, guys, with all that being said, I'm done.
The Cleveland Browns just delivered the most disrespectful slap in the face to Shedeur Sanders and his family that we've seen all season. While Dylan Gabriel gets the red carpet treatment running with the second-string offense, they threw Shedeur to the Wolves with third-stringers and called it a fair competition. But here's what really happened behind closed doors, and why this decision might have just destroyed a young man's confidence forever.
I think other than that, there was flashes of being very consistent and clean as an offense, and I think as long as we consistently, work at that and try to put more of those kind of drives together, you see our defense playing really well, and just putting our each other in better positions.
What happened on the pick six, and was it too late for you not to throw it, or what did you see?
Yeah, I think for me, I look back and definitely want to just throw it away. Don't force anything, on a keeper, and felt like there's just miscommunication on my part and something that we got to clean up. But I will, and we'll make sure of that.
There's still a week left here in this quarterback competition. Where do you think your play of aim puts you running for that job?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that at all. Just focus on a day at a time. At the end of the day, some decision will be made that's best for the team, and that'll be it. So, I'm just focused on being my best version of myself, and contributing to our team and our QB room to be the best. And that takes every single day and one day at a time. So way down the road. Yeah, just miscommunication as well. I got to be better there to help each other out on one that, knowing exactly where the launch point is. And that's something that'll be corrected and fixed as soon as possible.
Dylan, you got an opportunity to run a 2-minute drill, get down, get the field goal. How valuable was that to do that?
The Browns' assistant GM didn't hold back, and what he revealed about Shedeur's future will shock you. This isn't just about roster spots anymore. This is about respect, opportunity, and a system that might be rigged from the start at what's good. Family. Your boy is back with another one.
Footage.
Just Dylan making throws. So they will continue to grow and develop, but we feel really good about where they are and just excited to keep, adding to the team and assessing where we are as a roster.
Can you give us any insight whatsoever into where things stand with the coach on this?
I can't. I'll let Andrew address that. He'll update you when the time is right, Mary Kay, but there's no update.
And I just follow up on that, and I don't know if you answer this or not either, but the fact that you went ahead and signed Rocket today, does that speak to whether or not...
So picture this scene. It's media day for the Cleveland Browns front office, right? These executives are sitting there, cameras rolling, and they're just gushing about Dylan Gabriel. I mean, they're talking about this man like he's the second coming of Tom Brady. Dylan's making throws, they say. He's going to continue to grow and develop, they say. We feel really good about where he is.
Sometimes guys want to play so bad, and you just have to make sure that they can protect themselves, make sure that they can go perform. So that's all it was, just getting as close to kickoff as we can to make a prudent decision for the young man.
Kevin, as you head into final week of preseason, what is the timeline on being the starting quarterback, and you plan on handling the final preseason game as the professional rookie?
So we will treat the final preseason game, in a dress rehearsal type way, in the sense that we're going to do a regular season schedule this week, Daniel. So we will game plan. Now, we won't run every play that we put in this week, but I want the guys to get used to getting a game plan, new plays, kind of evolving the offense, the defense, the special teams, so to speak. And then in terms of who plays and that type of thing, we'll talk about that later.
So you don't anticipate moving the starter ahead of the starting quarterback for the season for week 1 ahead of...
Let's get through today, and then you and I will chat.
Well, both of the rookies got a start in the preseason, so how do you think they comported themselves, both of them, and can you say, I know it's not apples to apples, but how do they compare to each other?
Yeah, I'm not going to compare our players, Mary Kay, other than to say I'm pleased with both those guys, where they are in their progression. They have the mentality that they're going to get better every single day, which I appreciate. That's really where our focus is.
What about the defense? It's too much the whole week. Defense dominant here. Is that accurate?
Well, yeah. Again, I'm not going to characterize it. I'll tell you, I was really pleased with Wednesday and Thursday. Really pleased with the guys today. Obviously, our brand of defense, Tony, as you know, you have to play really, really hard, and you got to compete like crazy. And I think that's what you see from our guys.
Do you think that all four quarterbacks might be available for the dress rehearsal game?
From a health standpoint, I hope so, but I'm not sure yet.
And we saw Shedeur throwing a little bit out there. Is this a little bit more?
But here's the thing that's eating me up inside. Where was this energy for Shedeur? Where was this public praise? Where was this confidence when they were talking about the son of primetime himself? The assistant GM is sitting there talking about how excited they are to keep adding to the team and assessing where they are as a roster. But what he's really saying, if you read between the lines, is that they've already made up their minds. They've already decided that Dylan Gabriel is their guy, and Shedeur? Well, he's just collateral damage in their little experiment. And that's when you realize this was never really a competition. This was a setup from day one. That you want to know what really gets me fired up? The way they're acting like this decision was based purely on merit. Like they gave both guys an equal shot and Gabriel just happened to come out on top. But we all saw what happened during training camp, didn't we? While Gabriel was getting quality reps with the second team offense, the guys who might actually make plays, who might actually give you a chance to succeed, Shedeur was stuck running plays with guys who probably won't even be in the league next month. Third stringers, practice squad hopefuls, guys fighting just to make a roster somewhere. How is that fair? How is that giving someone a real opportunity to show what they can do? It's like asking two runners to compete in a race, but giving one guy Jordans and making the other guy run barefoot on gravel. Then when the guy in Jordans wins, you act like it was all about who was faster. But here's where it gets even more twisted. And this is what's really bothering me about this whole situation. The Browns front office is out here talking about competitiveness and raising the level of competitiveness. They're saying all the right things about how roster spots should go to whoever earns it, right? But when it came time to actually prove that philosophy, when it came time to show that they believe in fair competition, what did they do? They gave Gabriel every advantage possible while setting Shedeur up to fail. And you know what the craziest part is? Shedeur still showed flashes of brilliance even with all the obstacles they put in front of him. Even with that ragged third-string line that couldn't protect a paper bag. Even with receivers who couldn't catch a cold. This young man was still making plays. But apparently, that wasn't enough for the Browns brass. Now let me tell you something about Shedeur Sanders that these Cleveland executives seem to have forgotten. This isn't just some random college quarterback trying to make it in the pros. This is the son of Deion Sanders, primetime himself. This kid has been around elite football his entire life. He's been coached by one of the greatest athletes of all time since he could walk. When Shedeur steps on that field, he's not just representing himself. He's representing a legacy. He's representing a standard of excellence that's been instilled in him since childhood. And for the Browns to treat him like some afterthought, like some developmental project they can just shuffle to the side when convenient, that's not just disrespectful to Shedeur. That's disrespectful to everything the Sanders name represents in football. But here's what really bothers me, and I know this is going to sound controversial, but I've got to say it. I think there's something else going on here. I think the Browns were always planning to go with Gabriel, and they brought in Shedeur just to make it look like they had options. Think about it. Gabriel fits their system better, they'll tell you. He's got more experience, they'll say. He's more NFL ready, they'll claim. But what they won't tell you is that they never really gave Shedeur a chance to prove he could be all those things too. The assistant GM is sitting there in this press conference, and when they ask him about the quarterback situation, you can hear it in his voice. This decision was made a long time ago. All this talk about competition and earning spots, that was just for show.
Take the foundation of his college career and his experience and all the things that he did in college as well. Like, it's a running eval, it's a running resume. And so I think he just put a lot of trust. He gained a lot of trust from the coaching staff just in terms of how he worked. And we feel good about it. So look, every player is a player away. And I know Dylan's going to prepare and put himself in position that if he needs to be ready, he'll be ready.
And then it gets even worse. They asked this man directly, Why are you guys so confident in Dylan Gabriel? And listen to his response. You look at the work he's put in every day. You take the foundation of his college career and his experience and all the things that he did in college as well. It's a running evaluation. It's a running resume. A running resume? Are you serious right now? What about Shedeur's resume? What about his college career? What about the work he put in every day? But no, when it comes to Shedeur, suddenly that doesn't matter. Suddenly it's all about earning it and proving yourself and competing for everything. The double standard is so obvious it's almost insulting to our intelligence. But you know what? I'm not even surprised anymore. This is the same league that consistently overlooks talent when it doesn't fit their preconceived notions. This is the same system that would rather go with the safe choice than take a chance on someone who might actually revolutionize the position. And Shedeur Sanders? He's not safe. He's dynamic. He's unpredictable. He's got that Sanders swagger that makes defensive coordinators lose sleep at night. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what scares them. Here's what I think really happened in Cleveland. And this is just my opinion, but I've been watching this league long enough to see the patterns. The Browns brought in both quarterbacks knowing full well they were going with Gabriel. But they needed to make it look legitimate. They needed to create the appearance of competition so that when they made their decision, they could point to the process and say, see, we gave everyone a fair shot. But fair? There was nothing fair about putting Shedeur behind that third-string line while Gabriel got to work with actual NFL-caliber players. There was nothing fair about limiting Shedeur's opportunities while giving Gabriel every chance to succeed. And now they're sitting in press conferences talking about how confident they are in their choice, like it was ever really in doubt. But here's what they don't understand about Shedeur Sanders, and this is why I still believe in this young man despite everything that's happened. Champions aren't made when everything goes their way. Champions are forged in moments exactly like this, when the deck is stacked against them, when people doubt them, when they're told they're not good enough. And if there's one thing we know about the Sanders family, it's that they don't back down from challenges. They rise to meet them. Remember when everyone said Dion couldn't play both football and baseball? Remember when they said he was all flash and no substance? How'd that work out for them? Now they're trying to do the same thing to his son. They're trying to write off Shedeur before he's even had a real chance to show what he can do. But I've got news for the Cleveland Browns and everyone else who's sleeping on this young man. Shedeur Sanders isn't going anywhere. This setback isn't the end of his story. It's just the beginning of his comeback. You see, what these executives don't realize is that they might have just done Shedeur the biggest favor of his career. They've given him motivation. They've given him fuel. They've given him something to prove. And trust me, you don't want to give a Sanders something to prove, because here's what's going to happen next, and you can bookmark this prediction. Shedeur is going to use this disrespect as motivation. He's going to take every snap on that practice squad like his life depends on it. He's going to show up every single day with something to prove, and when Dylan Gabriel inevitably struggles, because, let's be real, rookie quarterbacks struggle, and when the Browns are looking for answers, guess who's going to be ready? That's right. Shedeur Sanders, the same young man they tried to bury, is going to rise up and show them exactly what they missed out on. He's going to make them regret every single decision they made in this process. But here's the thing that really gets me about this whole situation. It's not just about football. It's about respect. It's about giving young men a fair opportunity to chase their dreams. When you put a player in a position to fail and then judge them based on that failure, you're not evaluating talent. You're rigging the game. And that's exactly what the Browns did to Shedeur Sanders. They put him in the worst possible situation, gave him the least amount of support, and then acted surprised when he didn't immediately dominate. It's like giving someone a broken car and then questioning their driving skills when they can't win a race. But you know what the beautiful thing about sports is? The truth always comes out on the field. You can manipulate practice situations. You can control media narratives. You can stack the deck however you want. But when the lights come on and the games begin, talent rises to the surface, and Shedeur Sanders has talent. Anyone with eyes can see that. The question isn't whether he can play in this league. The question is whether this league is ready for what he brings to the table. Because make no mistake about it, Shedeur represents something different. He represents a new generation of quarterbacks who aren't afraid to be themselves, who aren't going to conform to someone else's idea of what a quarterback should be done. He's got that Sanders confidence, that Sanders flair, That's Sanders' ability to make the impossible look routine. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what the NFL needs right now. But the Browns? They chose to play it safe. They chose the familiar over the exceptional. They chose conformity over innovation. And you know what? That's their loss. Because while they're trying to develop Dylan Gabriel into something he might never become, Shedeur Sanders is going to be somewhere else, making them look foolish for ever doubting him. This whole situation reminds me of every great underdog story in sports history. The player who was overlooked, underestimated, and written off, only to come back and prove everyone wrong. Michael Jordan getting cut from his high school basketball team. Tom Brady being the 199th pick in the NFL draft. Russell Wilson being told he was too short to play quarterback. Now we can add Shedeur Sanders being disrespected by the Cleveland Browns to that list. And just like all those other stories, this one's going to have a beautiful ending. It's just going to take some time to get there. So to all the Shedeur Sanders fans out there, to everyone who believes in this young man's talent and potential, don't lose hope. Don't let this setback discourage you, because champions aren't made in moments of comfort and certainty. Champions are made in moments exactly like this, when everything seems impossible, when the odds are stacked against them, when everyone's counting them out. And if there's one thing we know about Shedeur Sanders, it's that he's got champion DNA running through his veins. The Browns might not see it yet, but they will. The whole league is going to see it eventually. And when that day comes, when Shedeur is balling out somewhere else and making highlight reel plays every Sunday, remember this moment. Remember how they treated him. Remember how they doubted him. Because this is just the beginning of the Shedeur Sanders story. And something tells me the best chapters are still to come. The Cleveland Browns think they made the smart choice. They think they went with the safe option. But what they really did was let a future star slip through their fingers. And in a few years, when they're still searching for their franchise quarterback, while Shedeur is leading someone else to championships, they're going to look back on this moment with nothing but regret. But hey, that's their problem now. Because Shedeur Sanders doesn't need the Cleveland Browns to validate his greatness. He's going to create his own path, write his own story, and prove his worth on his own terms. And when he does, all of US who believed in him from the beginning are going to be here to celebrate every single moment of his success. What do you think about the Browns' handling of this situation? Was this a fair competition, or was Shedeur set up to fail from the start? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you really think about this whole mess. And if you believe Shedeur Sanders is going to prove all the doubters wrong, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates on his journey. This story is far from over, and you know I'm going to be here covering every twist and turn until this young man gets the respect